Hi, and welcome to Katie's Corner in Space. My name is Katie, and today I'd like to talk to you about all the things that are confusing because you didn't watch Discovery and now you're watching Strange New Worlds. A common occurrence for people who just could not get into Discovery but have been awaiting Strange New Worlds because it's going to go back to the old format of old storytelling, basic adventures, is that within the first 5 minutes of enjoying that very first episode, there's a big question. Why is Pike riding a horse in the snow with a beard? Why isn't he captaining, doing a captainy thing? Basically, is he retired? Well, what happened is on Discovery, Pike found out about his future. The future where he's going to be badly maimed and the end of who he is now is coming. He knows it. Because of this, getting back to work after finding out was a little tricky. He knows that while working aboard a starship, a terrible accident will befall him, scarring him for life and changing the very man he is. To him, it's like his death, but he's having trouble accepting the truth of it. That first episode, we follow his journey as he slowly comes to terms with what he knows will be his future. So he's taking a sabbatical, trying to figure out if he wants to take up the captain's chair again, knowing what will happen. He doesn't want to answer the calls, he doesn't want to make that decision. And as we know, April takes that decision out of his hands. Another thing you might be wondering is where in the storyline is all of this happening? Yes, it's happening before Kirk takes command, but is it before or after the cage? And the simple answer is it's well after the cage has happened. In fact, in Discovery, he revisits the planet. But as I'm trying not to spoil anybody too much with this recording, that's all you get. Another thing you might be wondering is, how does Pike know what's coming? Why does he keep seeing his own scarred reflection when he looks and catches a glimpse of this future self he will be? Well, again, in Discovery, he has an adventure. It takes him to the planet Borath, a Klingon world, in which a Klingon monastery exists. That monastery houses time crystals, a very rare item that very few people ever come in contact with. I will again not spoil you with the how, but Pike does come in contact with one of these crystals, and that gives him the glimpse of what will be his future. And again, these things are what are haunting him and making it difficult for him to jump back in the saddle of anything that's not a horse, apparently. Now, the residents of Kylie 279 were able to reverse engineer a warp-powered weapon. And on the show, it's revealed that it's possible they could have gotten the information through telescopes because of a war. But what war? Not the Klingon War, at least not the Klingon War you're thinking of. You see, during Discovery, Section 31 became the enemy of Starfleet, led by an evil AI. Again, that's as much of a spoiler as I'm going to give you, but that's what's happening. While Starfleet attempts to take out Section 31, they receive assistance by a race known as the Kelpians, also introduced on Discovery, and, believe it or not, the Klingons.
Cavalry arrived just in time. See you brought some new friends.
This is important not just because that explains how these aliens were able to reverse engineer a warp weapon, but also that the relationship between Pike and the Klingons is not going to be the same as Kirk and the Klingons. It's very possible we could see adventures in the future that involve a Klingon Chancellor, L'Rell, a female, but one that is willing to work with Starfleet on occasion. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the possibility has been left there again because of Discovery. So if you see this in the future and wonder why everybody's getting along halfway decently, that's probably why. It's not the relationship between the Chancellor and Starfleet. It's the relationship between this individual Chancellor, L'Rell, and Pike. They've worked together during this battle, fighting as allies. And it's very possible because of that, we could see a friendlier relationship than we saw with, say, Kirk and Kang. Now, while the battle itself may not be necessarily top secret, what happens to Discovery after the battle or during the battle, actually the entire cause of the battle is Discovery, but again, spoilers. The fate of Discovery, however, is top secret. I won't say what it is because if you haven't watched it, you don't know, and I don't want to spoil it for you. However, Discovery has gone. The crew is gone. And the reason it is gone is top secret. So much so that every officer present was sworn to secrecy, and revealing the truth is an act of treason. This was done on Spock's recommendation to ensure that the events that happened at the end of Discovery Season 2 can't happen again. These events also provide the explanation as to why we never see a spore drive on any starships after Discovery. After all of this happened, the battle was won by Starfleet and the evil AI was put down. So virtually everything goes back to the way it was, which leads us to where Strange New Worlds is now and also allows it to become part of canon without too much trouble. And you know how I love to explain canon. Now, I'm not going to claim that this video explains everything, but it should give you the information you need to be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy the stories to come. My hope is that these tidbits will lead you to come back and watch Discovery at a later date. We Trekkies are notorious for being very picky about the show airing right now, and if we have a choice, waiting to watch it later. All I can tell you is that I thoroughly enjoyed Discovery, and while it did take a minute to get used to some of the changes, because they were mostly explained throughout the first season, I did end up walking away feeling like I had more information and not more confusion, and a really enjoyable story with a hero I thoroughly enjoy. So that should be a quick cheat sheet for everything you need to know and understand to understand what's happening on Strange New Worlds. Of course, Spock lost his sister, and the reason they never speak of that is also revealed at the end of Discovery. Basically, he promises he won't. Both his mother and his father also have a code of silence. Her name's simply never to be spoken. And while it is a simple explanation, it was one of those things that was nice that they stuck in so that, again, canon. Well, I hope this video helps you enjoy the new episodes and the new adventures coming up. If this video is helpful, don't forget to subscribe and like below. Always feel free to comment and ask any other questions you might want me to answer on a future video. Anything that'll help you enjoy the new series. Until next time, bye.